समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Parliament has been caught up with one particular sensitive issue coming out of Tamil Nadu. Now I know that many of you complain that we don't talk about the South often enough, and one of the reasons is that we might also have some diffidence that we don't know the South that well. We can tell you the basic, larger politics, but there are lots of intricacies there. This issue, the Deepam issue or the Deepathun issue, if you've been looking at your TV channels, they will say the Deepam issue, the Deepathun issue, the insult to Sanatana Dharma or insult to Sanatan, a dargah, a temple, all of that is appearing on your TV channels. That is what the story is. Now, what is the issue? What is the complexity? The complexity is that in Madurai is a holy town. It's a big temple town, one of the greatest temples in Hinduism. Historic temples is the Meenakshi temple is located in Madurai. And there is a bunch of other temples also. There are also other religious places. In Madurai, in fact, right next to the town, if you climb on the hill, you can see the entire town. I've been there many years back. Is a hill called Gundaram. Now, Gundaram, the hill has one big temple. It has a big temple. It's a temple dedicated to Lord Karthikeyan, Murugan, with respect called Murugappa, or Subramanya. All three are the names of Lord Karthikeya or Karthikeyan, brother of Lord Ganesha. In the south, in Tamil Nadu in particular, there is a large following for Karthikeyan, Murugan, as I told you, Subramanya. This temple is dedicated to him. It's called Subramanya Swami Temple. Inside the temple, there is a mandapam or a mandap. This mandapam is called Uchipadeyar Kovil Mandapam. Now, that is where it's in that mandapam that for a long time, on the 6th day of the month of Karthigai, 6th day of the month of Karthigai, which is linked to Lord Karthikeya, on this day, a lamp is lit ceremonially in the temple as a tribute to Lord Karthikeyan. This lamp has traditionally, for a long time, been lit inside the mandapam, which is in the temple. Now, the temple is located in the hill. It's a sizable hill. On one part of the hill, higher up, is also a dargah. Now, this dargah is named after a Sufi saint, Sikandar Badshah of 13th century. He was a 13th century Sufi saint and mystic. Not only was Sikandar Badshah a Tamil warlord, he was also the last ruler in the short-lived Madurai Sultanate. So, respected personality. This dargah is located there. Between the dargah and the temple, there is 3 kilometers of distance. However, on top of the hill, a pillar has been built. That's called Deepathun. Deepathun, the literal translation will be lamppost, but by using that straightforward translation, I will be understating the importance of what it is. It's like a temple staff on which a ceremonial lamp is lit. Around this, a little structure has been built. You can see the pictures. This is on top of the hill. The temple is lower down. Now, the important thing is the geography. Between the temple and the dargah, there might be 3 kilometers of distance, but between the Deepathun and the dargah, there is a very small distance. That's why this gets the Muslim community upset. The argument is that many followers of Lord Karthikeyan say that the temple should be allowed to light the lamp, or they should be allowed to light the lamp called Karthigai Deepam. That is the lamp on this special occasion on Karthigai, month of Karthigai. in honor of Lord Karthikeya on the staff there, on the Deepathun, not inside the temple. Now, if you do that, it gets you very close to the Dargah. That is the tension. This temple and Dargah, next time you are in Madurai, besides Meenakshi temple and other well-known places, please go and check these out. These are very pretty places, both the mandir and the Dargah. The mandir is an ancient rock-cut temple, very well built. Dargah obviously came later, but both are located there peacefully. There's never been any trouble there. Now, Karthigai Deepam. What is the significance of the event? The significance of the event is, this is the day, according to believers or followers of Lord Karthikeyan, that Parvati, the mother, united 6 forms of Kartikeya, the brother of Lord Ganesha. That's why this is celebrated like that. This is an old argument. This is an old argument that was in a way settled, but in the typical British way, not fully settled in 1920. In 1920, a civil court gave an order that the entire hill belonged to the temple, barring a little area involving the Dargah and abutting the Dargah. The rest of the hill belonged to the temple. But why did I say that in the typical British way they left the issue not fully closed? They did not rule on the rituals. They did not rule on the rituals, and they did not rule particularly where Karthigai Deepam will be lit. That they left vague. Now, this was going on without any problem until 1994. Until 1994, nobody talked about it. In 1994, a devotee went to Madras High Court saying that they should be allowed to light the lamp on the Deepathun on top of the hill, close to the Dargah, not be confined to Uchipalayar Kovil Mandapam, that is the Mandapam of the temple. Now remember the time, 1994. This was less than 1.5 years after the demolition of Babri Masjid. And that is when the BJP and the RSS were searching for similar issues all across the country, particularly in this case in Tamil Nadu, because that's where the BJP and the RSS have traditionally been very weak. They still are quite weak there. So this was one issue. That's the reason at least one of the English TV channels, I shall not name which one, at least one of the English TV channels was running a headline with a question mark saying, has the BJP found its Ayodhya of the South? That was at least the imagination. So 1994, a devotee went to Madras High Court asking for permission to be able to light the lamp on the Deepathun close to the Dargah. Madras High Court in 1996 said that the lamp will continue to be lit in the same place as before, which is the Mandapam at Ushipalayar Kovil. As far as history is concerned, that is the only court directive that is today active. I know there is another directive, but I will explain to you why that is not an active directive. This is the only directive that is active, so devotees should go to the mandapam of the temple and light the lamp there, or light the ceremonial Karthigai Deepam there, and not on Deepathun. Now the court also said that if you want other options, if you want to go someplace else for your rituals, then you can go for permission to Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department, that is HR&C Department of Tamil Nadu government. In any case, this should always be away from the Dargah. This continued to simmer, sort of, not very significantly, but did continue to simmer. Again, devotees went to Madras High Court in 2014. In 2014, Justice M. Venugopal of Madras High Court struck down their writ on multiple grounds, ranging from locus standi to precedent, saying that if the ritual has been carried out in a particular place all this while, there is no need to change it now. 2017, this was challenged by the same devotee in front of a division bench. In 2017, the division bench also upheld Justice Venugopal's order. Then comes Rama Ravikumar. That is the latest case. Rama Ravikumar went to Madras High Court now and made 3 arguments. One argument was the 1920 Privy Court order. Privy Court in the British era was a bit like the Supreme Court of India, that the 1920 Privy Court order gave the entire hill to the Hindus or to the temple. Number two, that there is no judicial order barring the devotees from lighting the lamp or Karthigai Deepam, this ceremonial lamp in Karthigai, on the Deepathun, that is the staff on top of the hill. And number three, that the temple authorities' denial of permission to devotees to do so, of go and light this lamp right up there in front of the dargah, right, a bit like tere ghar ke samne, in your eyes, that defies reason. This was before a single judge bench of Justice G.R. Swaminathan. Sounds familiar? That is the judge against whom the opposition, led by Kanimuri of DMK, daughter of Karunanidhi, they have moved an impeachment motion signed by 100 opposition MPs saying that his secular commitment is in question, saying that you can't expect justice from him, etc. I will tell you more about the judge as we go on. Now, Justice Swaminathan gave an order saying that devotees can go climb up and light their lamp on this Deepathun. However, Tamil Nadu government immediately reacted and said this is not possible, and they decided to appeal this before a larger bench. While this was going on, the petitioner, that is Rama Ravikumar, went to the judge and said, your orders are not being carried out. We are being stopped from going to the top of the hill. This is contempt of court. Judge then issued notices for contempt that Tamil Nadu government again appealed against. In the process, this judge's order right now is held in abeyance. That's the reason I said there is only one active court order, and that's the order of 1996. At one point, the judge even ordered that the devotees, if they want to go and climb on the hill and light that lamp there, they should be given protection by the CISF. That move also the Tamil Nadu government blocked. That's how it became a much bigger issue. Now, this has obviously divided the judicial community as well. 8 judges earlier, 8 former judges of Madras High Court had written a joint letter complaining about Justice Swaminathan, saying that he is not fair, his secular commitment is in doubt, his commitment to the constitution is in doubt. In fact, Justice Chandru, Justice K. Chandru, the famous Justice Chandru, whose work has also featured in a film, Jai Bhim, he's a storied judge. He was also a signatory. He's also spoken to Apurva Mandhani, our correspondent. I am in fact drawing a lot of my knowledge from 2 stories that we've carried, one by Prabhakar Tamilarasu, who's our correspondent in Chennai, and the other from Apurva Mandhani, who you know well, who also covers the law for us. Both these stories I will share with you. Now, 8 judges who spoke up against Justice Swaminathan, they said that he's been favoring lawyers from a particular community, that the constitution hinges on India's demographic profile. I will explain to you as we go along. Also, that it follows a particular political ideology. A judge should not follow a particular political ideology, and this goes against the secular principles of Indian constitution. That's what these judges said. Meanwhile, 56 judges have now risen from the other side supporting Justice Swaminathan. So it's become a full-scale political war now in Parliament. On Friday, significant BJP MPs also rose in defense of Justice Swaminathan. Most of all, Anurag Thakur, the former minister and MP from Himachal Pradesh. Justice Chandru has told Apurva that what Justice Swaminathan is doing does not go with the oath on the constitution that he has taken, and some of his statements are offensive to both the constitution and the principle of secularism. Where does that come from? Speaking at an RSS event, Justice Swaminathan has been going to RSS events. Speaking at an RSS event in Haryana, in Hisar, he had said that what is the constitution? This constitution is copied from Government of India Act of 1935. Justice Chandru says this is a strange person, Justice Swaminathan, who's delivering an affront to B.R. Ambedkar, who's the architect and author of the constitution. Then says Justice Chandru, he behaves as if he is a propaganda secretary of the RSS. He denigrates the constitution. The response has come from Arvind Menon, BJP National Secretary. Please do see his tweet, where he says this is anti-Hindu bigotry in disguise. Once again, as I told you, this is a full-fledged political battle now. Another lawyer, S. Vanchinathan, accused the judge, Justice Swaminathan, of communal and caste bias. He was hauled in for contempt and a two-judge bench held him guilty of contempt. The two judges included Justice Swaminathan himself. This is when 8 former judges had spoken out against Justice Swaminathan. Swaminathan, however, said this is a smear campaign, and I will quote from what he said in that contempt hearing. He said to the lawyer who had made these statements, "You are a comedy piece. Who calls you revolutionaries? You are a comedy piece. You are all comedy pieces." Now, the judge, Justice Swaminathan, also said, from where does the commitment to Vedas comes in? At another conference, and this was the 17th annual day parade of Vedic scholars. He went to speak there, and he told them a story. He said that there was a Shastri girl. Shastri girl is a scholar of the Vedas. He said there was a Shastri girl who was going to be convicted because he had made a confession of reckless driving, which led to the death of somebody on the road. The fact is, he wasn't driving the car. His sister was driving the car. To protect the sister, he made a confession. He made a confessional statement that he was driving the car. But Justice Swaminathan said, look, there was no eyewitness. So as a lawyer, I fought for him and I got him acquitted because there was no eyewitness. Now, that is never mind the facts of the case. And he said, what is the lesson? And he goes on to say, that day I understood the saying, if you protect the Vedas will protect you. His critics now say that he is showing a commitment to the scriptures and not to the constitution. Now, this is an interesting judge. He issues white papers about himself. His latest one said that he has cleared 64,700 cases in his tenure, and he says other judges also do so. However, he also keeps making these other controversial statements. What is his demographic profile and the constitution statement? He said for this constitution to survive, it will depend on India's demographic profile. What that means is that as long as India has a majority of people of Bharatiya Dharma and Sampradaya, that is India's native or what is called as Indic faiths and communities, as long as they are in majority, this constitution will be there. Otherwise, this constitution may not survive. I'm paraphrasing it and explaining it. So all of these draw much secular criticism to him. Remember, this is happening in Tamil Nadu, which is ruled by DMK with a very large majority. DMK, also the entire Dravid politics. The basis of Dravid politics is godlessness. It is atheism. It's a party originally of iconoclasts. Now they don't do that anymore. They stopped doing it after Periyar, but they stopped doing it after Periyar, but these are sensitive issues to them. And BJP is now trying to counter the DMK, at least professedly atheist DMK, by reviving Hindu sentiments in the state. That's why it becomes so significant in the politics, particularly as the state heads for elections next year. So we conclude with something that Mohan Bhagwat, Sarsang Chalak, said. He was in Tiruchirappalli and he was asked a question. He was asked if he would like to, or the RSS would like to, elevate this issue nationally, the Deepathun or Karthigai Deepam issue nationally. He said that is not necessary. Also that the issue is now sub judice. And he said, meanwhile, it's a good thing that there is a Hindu awakening taking place in Tamil Nadu, and that will ensure that the desired result is achieved.